Thursday, Rex Ryan and Enemkpali return to their old stomping ground, MetLife Stadium, for a tilt against the Jets. In case you forgot, 3 months ago, IK punched Geno Smith in the Jets locker room, breaking the quarterback's jaw, and was released. In typical Rex fashion, he named IK the captain for Thursday Night Football. Rex being Rex. Gip, like, love, or hate the move?
Ooh. Molly, Stephen A., I can't go all the way to love, but I must say, I do like it because it is so disrespectfully Rex. It is just so typical, and I don't think any other NFL coach would dare to call this much attention to what was such an ugly incident back 3 months ago. But this is Rex. He wants to rub the Jets' noses in it. He wants to wave this ugly incident right back in their face just before kickoff. And it's just how he coaches football and why a lot of players want to play for Rex Ryan. And I told you before the year, I really like this team. I picked them to be a wild card. You picked the Jets to be a wild card. I still say that even though the Jets are 5-3 and the Bills are 4-4, the Bills have suffered 3 key injuries that have kept them from winning a couple of games. They could easily be 5-3, if not 6-2, but they have, for different games, lost Tyrod Taylor. They've lost LaShawn McCoy. They've lost Sammy Watkins for combinations of games. I thought they should have beaten your Giants up in Buffalo, but they didn't. And in that game, they didn't have LaShawn or Sammy Watkins.
Right.
I thought they should have beaten the Jacksonville Jaguars in London. They lost that game 34-31 without Tyrod or Sammy Watkins. You got to have your skill stars to win these games, as we've seen with the Dallas Cowboys. So in this case, I'm still hanging in with my prediction, and I like the fact that Rex is still throwing out his chest and being Rex Ryan.
It is funny. It is humorous. It does grab headlines. It is so Rex, but it's also classless.
I'll buy that. I would agree with you.
And disrespectful. Simply because it was a violent act. Although I think one, at least to some degree, instigated by Geno Smith, who is the newest fool of the year. Because when you see that boy Enemkpali walking right there in that footage, I just found myself saying, you got in his face?
You don't mess with him.
You got in his face, Geno Smith? Like, what on earth were you thinking? Yeah. That's just dumb, okay? Now, having said all of that, we're living in a society, everything, you know, social media and beyond, things tend to go viral and all of this other stuff. We get all of this. You know what kind of incident took place here. You know that violence ultimately led to IK Enemkpali being cut by the Jets immediately where you picked him up. A quarterback that you coached, he punched him in the face, broke his jaw, and it legitimately has jeopardized Geno Smith's career, because since that time, we haven't seen him play, really, up till a couple of weeks ago. But even then, Ryan Fitzpatrick, it was his job, and then after it was his job, Geno Smith came in there and, you know, for the first time. But you don't know what kind of damage this may have done. Now, again, to me, it's Geno's fault for not paying the $600. You know, and even though I'm not advocating violence, and I'm not saying in any way Enemkpali should have done what he did, if you know you owe the man the money, you're making over $1 million a year, give him his damn money, okay? Especially when you can honor a commitment you made to go to his summer camp where he was advertising you and you know, telling everybody you were going to be there. You know, if you make a commitment and you can't make it, do everything you can to make amends for it. He didn't do that. But Rex knows all of this, and it's just a bad look. As far as I'm concerned, he gets away with it because it's not as bad had it been somebody else. But with Rex, you know, you can laugh about it, you can have fun with it, and it's a headline grabber, and I get it. But you just say to yourself, damn, Rex, you really got to go there? You really got to go there?
All right, so here's the key question. To take Molly's question and turn it on the Bills locker room. Behind closed doors, do you think the Bills players like, love, or hate this move by Rex? Do you think they think it's classless? Are they embarrassed by it, or are they fired up by it?
I don't think they're fired up by it.
Good question.
I don't think they're fired up about it. I think that they may need to be fired up because of how concerned they need to be about the Jets being fired up.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, and you know, Rex is a player's kind of coach, so they're probably siding with him by saying, Coach got to be coach. We still got to go out there and have a job to do. But when you consider the fact that, you know, you're doing this, whether he means to or not, and I'm certainly not accusing him of actually meaning to, Rex Ryan is basically celebrating the fact that Geno Smith got his jaw broke by a Buffalo Bill.
So,
and maybe that's a reason to celebrate in the sport of football.
Okay, here's the flip side to this question. Will this move backfire on Rex and fire up the Jets beyond what they would normally be fired up for this division rivalry?
Well,
I think so.
I'm going to say no.
No?
I'm going to say no because are they going to have Geno's back over this move, in their face move? I don't think so, because you were the first to say you didn't think anybody really rushed to Geno's defense back in August, right?
What I was told.
Okay.
But the thing about it is that you know Rex is coming at you, and if anything, first of all, Todd Bowles is not going to play into that stuff. You know, he's a no-nonsense kind of guy. But secondly, and more importantly, I think they are hyped because they know that Rex Ryan is coming, and Rex Ryan would love to beat up on the organization. He just finished coaching the previous 6 years, and Tyrod Taylor comes back last week. He connects on 11 of 12 passes. You got 200-yard rushers in LaShawn McCoy and Carlos Williams. They both rushed for over 100 yards against Miami. So when you look at it from that perspective, Buffalo has the potential to hurt you. And if you're the New York Jets, you lose this game, and all of a sudden Buffalo is in a position to snatch that wild card instead of you.
And the Jets secondary is banged up.
Oh, it is banged up. But my bottom line to this issue is that Rex decided to risk sending him out there as a captain because he knows in the Jets locker room they don't really believe in Geno. So it's not a big risk to start a bonfire in the Jets locker room of, we got our back of our young quarterback. I don't think they do.
Okay.
One quick question. Does Geno bring the check?
You know what? Mike and Mike were joking this year what they would do. And Mike Greenberg was Greeny was talking to Michael Kay. And Michael Kay said, gave him like 3 options. And one of the options were the Jets coming at midfield and bringing a huge, big check for $600. That would be hilarious, which I agree with. But I can't imagine that Todd Bowles is going to play into that nonsense.
I don't think so either. And
he's not that kind of guy.
It's still not a laughing matter. That's how I feel about it.
All right, moving on. Speaking of not a laughing matter, the Missouri football team took a stand which led to the resignation of the school's president. What impact will this have moving forward? Ryan Clark will join us for that conversation. Stay here.